Okay, perfect. Welcome to part 2. So here's the only 3 rules you need to respect in order for this training to actually work for you and obviously start seeing results as fast as possible. As I mentioned before, in addition to this training, you will be provided with all the tools and resources for free, along with access to our private Discord community, where we go live every single week, teaching you new ways on how to use AI to make more money. To get all of this, it's very simple. Just finish the next 2 parts of the masterclass because I will randomly leak a secret password in each video. All you have to do is send us the passwords on Telegram and we will send you all the resources and links for free. We're talking about playbooks, guides, checklists, more videos, more courses for free, and that alone is worth thousands of dollars to the members who will use them. Second, whenever you see something next to the AI Mafia triangle, just like this one, note it down or take a screenshot. That means that it's a very important piece of information that you can start using right away. And if you're on your phone, it's easier to download the WAP app. It's free and you will be able to stay updated if we ever decided to drop another free course and get notifications for whenever we go live to answer your questions. Rule number 3, remember, you're already late and this is not self-help. You have to make up for that lost time. I'm not here to motivate you. That's why you need to think like a sniper. Pick one AI money model out of the 10. Use the viral AI marketing tactics and the sales processes that you will be learning in this module. And dig deep this time. No more surface level scratching or moving from idea to another. Remember, this is not self-help. It's an execution plan. And execution is the missing link. Lack of execution would simply lead to self-sabotage and doubt. It's the only reason why you fall short on your promises. It's the gap between what you want and your ability to achieve it. And I can provide you with the best training on earth. Tactics, strategies that work, but without your ability to get shit done, regardless of how you feel, you won't go anywhere. So your goal as an entrepreneur is to link the 3 core processes of your business: yourself, obviously, and the AI models you're about to learn, and the operating plan that we will cover toward the end of this training. Section 1, marketing. In theory, practice and theory are the same. In practice, theory doesn't even exist. That's why, although I went to one of the best business schools in North America, I just couldn't wrap my head around the fact that whatever they were teaching us didn't match the reality. So let me break down the 5 most practical marketing concepts that you can take and use right away to successfully launch your AI automated business. This is pretty much everything you need to know about marketing to build your business and get millions of people to see what you're selling every single day. Every single concept is explained using the what, why, how method. What is it, why it's important, and how to use it. We will cover product market fit, how to create purple cow products that stand out. Then we will move to global outreach communication and we will see how to go viral every single time using the virality engineered formula. And at the very end, in this section, we will cover how to run ads on your favorite platforms. We're talking about Facebook, Instagram, YouTube at no cost, absolutely no money out of pocket. So let's start with product market fit. Now, if your business was a girl, this would be her G-spot. Everything else is a complete waste of time if you don't get this one right. And the simple definition of this concept is creating a product or service that people want and need. And I know it might sound very basic to you, but it's not. Think about the game Tetris. Every single move changes the course of the entire game. And every single time that you do some kind of rotation, you're creating endless new opportunities so that your piece fits perfectly on the board. So in business, 99% of entrepreneurs never get there because they get caught up on focusing on building a product that they themselves want or need, only to find themselves with something that no one really wants or needs. And they wonder why so many of their products fail. And that's why it's very important to dissociate your ego, preferences, and hobbies from your business. Following your passion and staying broke is totally absurd. But if your product revolves around your passion and you nail the PMF model, that's alchemy for serious cash, my friend. So once again, you must create and market a product that people want and need to the point where you have to get users addicted to your product in order for you to increase retention and consumption, which ultimately leads to a huge amount of sales and cash collected. And the truth is, some businesses get it right on the first try, like what Airbnb and Uber did. They found a specific need, closed the gap by detecting a problem that nobody saw, and they solved it before competitors even knew what was happening in the market. And the reason why this is so important, if you hit PMF and market it the right way, you then become a reference in that specific market, leading with absolute domination and no competition. It might or might not be the case for you. You might stumble upon the perfect product or service that resonates with your audience on the very first try. But for the rest of businesses, they have to test and tweak multiple times before getting to product market fit. And I will show you the exact framework that I used over the years to get it right every single time. And if you don't get it right on the first try, it's okay. Just remember, Nokia sold paper and wood products before even selling phones, to now move into selling network and AI infrastructures. Shopify was called Snow Devil at first. It was an online store selling snowboard equipment, to now becoming the leading e-commerce platform, valued at $185 billion. Instagram was called Bourbon. Yes, just like the drink. The first version of the app was being used to rank bars, share pictures of the bars and restaurants, and just share them between friends. Turns out that users only cared about the feature where you can share pictures with your friends. Then the owners of the app adjusted the app based on users' preferences, then became a market disruptor, making it possible for the first time to post a picture in less than 3 clicks. I know at this point it sounds very basic for you, but think about when this shit didn't exist, right? And as you know, later on, Facebook bought Instagram for $1 billion and 23 million shares of Facebook stock, to now being worth over $441 billion. So my point is, when the market doesn't respond to your product, instead of giving up on your entire business, you make changes on the product according to your audience preferences, not yours. And to do it correctly, you need to avoid these common mistakes. First, falling in love with your product instead of falling in love with building your business. This is gonna lead you to a point where you no longer want to change the product or modify anything. You then become fixated on one product or idea. And then when it doesn't work, you blame it on luck, fate, or destiny. Remember, it's very easy to engineer a successful product. Money aside, you need to fall in love with your business. And the only goal of any business on earth is to solve OPM, other people's problems, and make money in the process. Number 2, building in a vacuum or in secret. So hiding in your cave secretly, coding or developing your product for 6 months, thinking that someone somewhere will steal your idea, is a classic mistake, because you will end up with a product polished that nobody needs. Instead, I want you to build in public. Let the world know what you're up to. It will not only give you instant feedback and get you closer to your target audience, because people are gonna resonate with whatever you're doing, but it'll also instill accountability, since people are expecting you to build something after announcing it. Third, relying on AI and neglecting human feedback. Yes, AI will help you go 1,000 times faster. And yes, this course is about AI automated businesses. But remember, AI won't buy your products. So instead of using it to replace your thinking, use it to amplify your thinking. For example, instead of saying ChatGPT, give me 10 business ideas that I can start now with no capital, no teams, blah, blah, blah. You say, here, ChatGPT, here's a list of 3 industries. Let's identify 10 common problems and build a product around it. And always use ChatGPT on deep research mode. You can do it for free, and it's gonna allow ChatGPT to access the browser and give you the most updated answer every single time. Number 4, scaling too early. This one is huge. I keep getting DMs from people every single day, messaging me about trying to scale their business. My first response is, how many clients do you have right now? Oh, no, I'm just starting, working on landing my big clients or whatever. Or I get people that want me to invest in their business idea, and they be like, okay, bro, so I have this crazy idea and I need to scale it. These people don't understand the definition of scaling. Scaling is expanding. And if you got nothing, you cannot expand anything. It's not genius. It's just logic and common sense, right? Now, let's say you have a little bit of money saved up to fund your business. Pumping money and resources into marketing and hiring people in order for you to scale before nailing product market fit is the fastest way for you to burn your cash with no guaranteed result. It's like pouring water into a leaky bucket. It's still gonna be empty at the end of the day, right? I want you to fix the product, which is the bucket first. Ensure that you have a solid business foundation organically before thinking about scaling. And if you have the right foundation, if it's strong enough with the right product, scaling happens naturally and exponentially. You will first struggle a little bit to get your first client, then a little less to to get 10 clients simply because you persisted, then 100 clients because you stayed consistent this time, then 1,000 clients because now you have a system and a proven product that people want and need, each time becoming more easy and more predictable. So the common question is how to engineer a product market fit and what should you do once you get it. The model that I use is extremely simple. And just like how we mentioned that the success of any business relies on the speed of execution of its owner, the very first thing you need to do is to decrease the production cycle. A production cycle is the time that usually takes you to turn your idea into an MVP, which is the first ever functional version of your product. So imagine this. Imagine you're trying to seduce a girl at a bar, okay? And every single time you go up to her with a new pickup line and a better approach, she would forget about the previous interaction that you guys had. So now you can allow yourself to fuck up and be stupid on the first try, right? And you will keep trying until you learn what she likes. And you'll automatically start coming up with a better approach every single time and better words to talk to her. So the girl is the equivalent of your audience. And in business, this is going to allow you to do something we call shadow testing, which will permit you to fail or succeed better and faster. So let's say that you've gathered enough feedback and data and you came across the conclusion that your product sucks. You will use that to pivot and make changes fast according to what the market starves and dictates. You will keep doing it until you generate explosive market reactions. You will then know that you hit the G-spot, champagne showers, baby. You hit product market fit. And once you hit it, let go of everything else. Nothing matters anymore. You're locked into that one specific product. That's what we call in business a cash cow. You then move from phase one, which is trying and experiencing, to doubling down on what previously worked. So here's a $100,000 prompt designed for you to plug in ChatGPT. That way you can generate PMF or check if your product respects every single criteria mentioned in this training. It's inside the resources that you will get for free in the Viral AI Marketing Playbook under section Product Market Fit, along with a product launch checklist and a dozen more prompts. And don't worry, if you lack product ideas or don't know what to build, I got 10 AI money models with products and ideas primed for you to hit product market fit if you do the rest of this strategy correctly. Second, we got Purple Cow products. This concept is now being used by people like Mr. Beast and Andrew Tate to market their brands and create billion-dollar businesses. So imagine this. You're driving back from work and you usually drive across a field full of white and brown cows. But this time you notice something strange. As you're driving, you begin to see a purple cow. 100% of the time, you will stop the car and check out if what you see is actually real. And since you know you're not high or tripping on something, you will most likely pick up your phone, start taking pictures, record videos, and send them to your friends. And you will keep talking about the purple cow for the next month until it becomes the new normal and everybody sees it. In today's saturated market, being good or having a good product is never enough. Your product must be the purple cow, because purple cow products always go viral and disturb industries. And for that exact reason, I use this very simple model to create purple cow products using these 4 characteristics. Number 1, it's different. It needs to stand out on purpose. This is going to differentiate your company from any existing competitors. Second, it's remarkable. It makes people stop what they're doing and automatically get in tune with your product, talk about it, and share their experiences every single time, creating a ripples effect that we now call a trend. Third, it must solve a problem that your audience might or might not be aware of, giving you a first mover's advantage, which means being the first and only one in an untapped market, capitalizing on this opportunity before anybody notices it. Fourth, it creates a problem, then solves it. Now, the perfect example for this is Apple's AirPods. Prior to launching their product, no one really cared about having wires hanging around their necks while listening to music, right? Then Apple came with the brilliant idea of removing cables, and suddenly nobody wanted traditional earphones or headsets that had wires, to the point where it became inconvenient to have wires hanging around your neck. Let's just say this. Apple didn't create a new product. They created a new norm, set a new standard. Then the other brands followed, but 99% of the time, competitors get in late. That's why you usually see 1 or 2 companies dominating over a specific market with sometimes just one similar product. So yes, branding is extremely important. having a clear logo and a neat design is very important, but 99% of your business's revenue relies solely on the problem that your product solves. So here's a 3-step framework that will show you how to engineer remarkability by building a purple cow product into your AI automated business. Number 1, figure out what everyone is doing, and by everyone I mean competitors, and do the opposite. And here's a ChatGPT prompt that you can copy and paste. ChatGPT, analyze the top 10 competitors in whatever industry you picked. List what they have in common, which means product features, pricing, offers, then highlight gaps or things that customers keep complaining about, and tell me what they're all missing. Number 2, exaggerate, eliminate, or flip the script. The common mistake is to follow the script, because if you follow the script, you will end up just like everyone else. So exaggerate and go big. Take one thing that people like and push it to the extreme. A relatable example would be when Domino's Pizza went all in on delivery speed against Pizza Hut. 30 minutes or it's free. That approach alone got their company to $15 billion in sales. And another example of when ChatGPT came out and people started saying that Google search will eventually die. If Google didn't make a move by integrating their AI research mode and Gemini and a bunch of AI features, it would have probably stopped existing. So adapt, change, and keep moving as you're building. Only a fool would think that they have a final version of their current product. So no matter how big you go, you must keep updating and coming up with new ideas or products. Along with having a shocking name, bold claims, and an unusual approach, you need to add a social trigger. Rare Beauty is a cosmetic company that made $2.7 billion in sales. They were the ones who invented the Get Ready With Me style videos. Their influencers were instructed to follow a very specific type of videos to promote their products. Did they have the best product in the industry? I don't know shit about makeup, but probably not. But was it marketed using the purple cow approach? Definitely. It became a trend until it became a new norm. Another example would be when ChatGPT's social trigger got them 1 million users in 5 days. For the first time in history, and to challenge your perspective in numbers, Netflix got to 1 million users in 3.5 years. GPT did that in 5 days. The social trigger was, guys, look how easy I'm doing this complex task. Guys, look how fast I can do this or generate that. And everyone started talking about it and posting about it, bragging to their friends what they can achieve using that specific tool. And look, I understand you might not have the means and you're not even supposed to invent the next flying cars or folding jetpacks that you can put in your backpack. Matter of fact, if creativity is not your strongest asset, I made this prompt to give you ideas of purple cow products in your niche. Or you can simply stick to product market fit and still be making millions of dollars. So here's another $100,000 prompt designed for you to plug in ChatGPT. That way you can generate purple cow products, or check if your product respects the criteria. Once again, it's inside all the resources that you will receive for free in the AI marketing playbook section, purple cow product, along with a bunch of other checklists and a few dozen more prompts. But anyways, for this to work, you need to understand the GOC and the VEF to actually make sales and launch with amplification. Third section, global outreach communication. This is the part where I teach you how to infect the algorithm like a billion-dollar company. I literally have it printed down on my office walls. Infect the algorithm with your content. If internet was a sea, I would drown it with content about my company and product and make sure everyone knows what I'm selling and what I'm building. By far, this is the most essential part of your marketing strategy. If your business was a man, this would be his ding-dong, and he must stay hard at all times. So think about your marketing department as a radio station broadcasting a radio show in the area where you obviously operate. And if the antenna is not working, you won't be able to communicate with nobody, and no one will know that your show exists. Now, let's say that the antenna is fixed but tuned into the wrong frequency, and it landed for some reason in a country that doesn't speak English. It's absolutely worthless since nobody will understand what you're saying. Now, let's relate this to your AI automated business. The most effective way to communicate about your product is audio-visual methods, specifically short format videos. You cannot argue with this. This is the #1 way to get millions of people to see your product using a 6 to 10 second video. And seriously, nobody wants to read long-ass emails or blog posts, and you certainly don't have the budget to rent those big-ass highway billboards. So to market your product efficiently, you must create short format content around it, whether you want to show your face or not. And the latest technique that's being being used right now to market any kind of product is the AI influencer UGC model, which we will analyze later on, and I will show you exactly how to create avatars like this to promote your business, along with how to go viral every single time. So in order for you to have a successful marketing strategy, your GOC must follow these rules. Number one, addressability. To do that, you must first narrow down your ICP, ideal client profile. You must know exactly your target, how they think, how they speak, and how they act. A perfect example of an ICP in the self-help niche, for example, would be a struggling version of yourself 5 years ago that needed help but couldn't find any. Once you have that figured out, you now know exactly who is your ideal client profile. Second, a clear message, expressing your vision, mission, values, all aligned with your brand's image. I'll give you a quick example. At AI Mafia, we empower entrepreneurs to build fully automated businesses by leveraging AI so that they can create their dream life. Now, every single piece of content should align with this message. And it doesn't mean that you have to repeat this phrase every single time in videos like a retard. It just means that you have to use it as a guiding principle for creating your content. Number three, volume over quality. Volume negates quality, luck, and any other variable. Create so much volume that it becomes impossible for your business to fail. And let's be clear, I'm not talking about diminishing the quality of your product. This is about the quality of your marketing tactic and content. Because I could have the worst marketing campaign, but still manage to post 100 reels and get it seen by a huge amount of people, and you, having spent 6 months crafting the best quality marketing campaign and hiring experts, but also got 0 to no views. I will still beat you every single time in terms of cash collected. Exposure to attention is everything in this business model, and the only way to guarantee exposure is through pushing volume, just like in the gym. The more reps and the heavier you go, the more muscles you'll end up building. Common sense and logic, right? So how does that apply to you? Let's be conservative and assume that you're only 1% lucky and that 1% of your videos will go viral. Now you know exactly what to do. You have to post 100 times to get that one golden nugget. And if you have to sacrifice the quality of your content to create more volume, so be it. And the downfall of every single online entrepreneur is that they post one YouTube video, 3 reels, and they get 200 views and they call it a day. Motherfucker, I know businesses on Instagram that post almost 100 times a day. They're obviously using AI automated processes. You can't do it by yourself, specifically manually. That's why I will show you how to use it to bump content. But fuck it, man. Mediocre efforts lead to mediocre results. You cannot put bare minimum efforts and expect great returns. And as you can see here, you control the components in red. A clear message plus volume creates relatability. A huge volume plus addressability creates virality, which we will cover in depth in the next section. Our model relies on virality. And lucky for you, I have a formula for it. And yes, there is a specific way where you combine volume with the virality engineered formula to ensure a successful launch. So here's a $100,000 AI prompt designed for you to create a whole marketing strategy following the GOC structure and to see if your marketing and strategy content follows these guidelines. Once again, it's inside the resources that you will be able to get for free in the Viral AI Marketing Playbook section, Global Outreach Communication. But before we get to the next chapter, you need to be honest with yourself. Are you communicating hard enough about your product and your business? Or have you been doing bare minimum and that's why you haven't generated the results that you've been looking for? Ask yourself this question. Section 4. Virality Engineered Formula. Instagram statistics showed that 90% of the videos that went viral made no money to their owners. It's true. Think about it this way. If you post a cat video and it hits 100 million views, you might get some likes, comments, and follows, but if it's not backed by a product, there's no way you'll be able to make money. I know it's different on other platforms like TikTok and YouTube where you can actually monetize your views, but this is not about that. It's about positioning your product in front of your ideal clients. So on the flip side, if that page has a cat's product or sells a cat's t-shirt, for example, you might get some clicks on your website if it's properly linked to the account, and you might potentially get some sales. But who cares about cat videos? My point is, do not try to go viral if you don't have a product, service, and an offer ready. And as the algorithm keeps changing, here's how to go viral every single time according to Instagram CEO's recent updates. Every single piece of content should have at least 4 of the following elements. Number 1, speak to a certain audience pain point. For example, if you feel depressed and stuck, do X to get Y. Back it up with a PT. Promise of transformation. I promise if you do X for 30 days, you will see Y results. You also have to evoke emotions, challenge perspectives, specify numbers. 5 rules to get anything you want in life. Urgency and timeliness, also known as FOMO. 2023, 2024, 2025, and you're still doing the same thing. 2026 will be the same if you don't lock in right now. That was an example of the urgency and timeliness hook. PS, personal story or any kind of storytelling. EM, empower and motivate. CS, be clear and concise. And if you use these elements in your videos and actually push volume this time, there's no way you won't go viral. And the only metric that really matters is not likes and views. What matters the most is retention rate. How many viewers watched the video till the end? Meaning that you had a strong 2 to 3 second hook and you actually delivered value until the end of the video. That's why they saved the video after watching it, because they now think that they might need it later on at some point in their life. Relatability and shareability. The number of shares creates a ripple effect, causing your video to go viral and ultimately leads to exponential growth and reach. So here's a $100,000 AI prompt designed for you to create the most viral pieces of content using the VEF structure. Let's finish this section by saying that one piece of content, one single video, can change the course of your entire life. I've seen people going from rags to riches because of one poorly edited video that they were not even gonna post at the first time. So whatever you're holding on to right now, just post the damn content. No one's gonna judge you, and even if they do, who cares about them? This is about you. And this is the last section of the marketing training. This is my unique model of running paid ads on YouTube, Instagram, and any other platform of your choice at absolutely no cost out of pocket. To explain this model, we first have to understand what the house money effect is. You enter a casino with $100 of your hard-earned money taken out of your paycheck, and you play the roulette. Ball lands on the color that you picked. Now you're up 100. Your mind will play a trick and tell you that the second $100 that you just won is less valuable than the one that you walked in with. Therefore, you can afford and risk it on another casino game. That's why you hear folks saying after they win, dude, this is literally the casino's money. I don't care if I lose it. Now, I need you to condition your mind into thinking that in business, money is money, regardless of how fast and easy you get it. And your business's money is not your money. You literally have to reinvest a part of it in order for you to go faster and pay yourself a salary as the owner. We will also cover this later on, but the greatest downfall of every successful business owner is eating from his profits and capital. Now back to ads, or what we call paid traffic. I know this is very basic for the advanced guys watching this, but I promised a what, why, and how explanation. Ads is the simple act of buying views from platforms that have a massive number of users. By doing that, you're buying a ticket or a digital space to be exposed in front of potential buyers. The number one mistake that happens to businesses that solely rely on running ads is that when you have the wrong product with most likely a broken system or no system at all, and you don't even know it, you're just burning your cash. And you should switch to ANC, ads at no cost. Running paid ads prior to selling your product or service organically is like taking steroids before getting a gym membership. It might sound exciting for some people, but it's totally stupid. I'm not against using gear, but you have to put in the work first. You gotta get into the habit of working out, learn proper form, put in the reps, and then if that's what you want, you can add the secret juice. It's the same principle for ads, but if you have a massive budget and you're willing to sacrifice a portion of it to test if you have the right product, that's a different story. But if you're like me, when I first started, I had no money. This is exactly what I did to run ads with absolutely no money out of pocket. Okay, let's say that you're selling a $500 info product or service that doesn't cost you anything to produce. And after doing your extensive homeworks, according to the industry, that your CAC, which is the cost of acquiring a client, is between $80 to $90. It means that it costs you $80 to $90 to land one client if you were to buy ads. Now, the first step is to test your funnel organically. For the next 4 days, I want you to put all your efforts and energy into selling your product to one person. Most people want to land 100 clients, but they forget that you actually have to get that first client to get to 10, then 100. So focus on the first step, because if you cannot sell a $500 info product to one person organically, it means that there is a flaw in your product. And even with unlimited ads budget, you wouldn't have gotten any result. This technique will save you time and money. Do whatever it takes for the next 4 days. Message a couple people, post 100 videos about it, stories, knock doors, and if they don't open, break them. Because when you have nothing, you got nothing to lose. So if your product hits PMF and you successfully sell it to, let's say, one client for $500, this is when the real magic happens. Instead of taking your profits and celebrating that night, you must treat that money as your business capital, not yours. Now you're up $500 and now you have proof of concept and you've validated your product, and you also have the most critical data, which is that one client costs $90 and a client is worth $500 to your business, because that's the price you're selling your product for. Obviously, this is before tax and assuming that there is no cost of production, since it's an info product or a service that you will deliver yourself. You take that $500 and you put it into your first ads campaign. Now you have a guaranteed return of a minimum of 5 clients, because you know it costs you $90 to get one client, and that's how you're gonna go from $0 to $500 in less than a day. Flip $500 to $2,500 in literally 5 to 6 days. Do it once a week, you're at $10,000. Pretty cool when you look at it this way. Now that we covered marketing, virality, ads with no capital, and everything in this department, let's take a closer look at the money-making department, sales.